Thursdays because I had volleyball practice, so then I had to move things around. So with the schedule that I wrote, I can make sure that I have enough time to do my homework in order to go to violin practice and play volleyball games at the same time. And then with the calendar, I can plan out my dates ahead of time, so when to reschedule my dates, my due dates, and deadlines. Now moving on to the third method, always keep track of your time. You don't know how many times I have gone over time, while even with the use of those two objects. So sometimes I would be sitting there doing math homework, I would look around, maybe check Facebook, go on their internet or something, and then I would be off track. And then I would spend, instead of spending half an hour on math homework, I would spend, let's say, about an hour and 30. So that ruins my entire schedule for the entire afternoon. So always have a stopwatch to keep track of, all right, I have 45 minutes to do my math homework. Let's get it done in 45 minutes, and I can maybe relax a bit. And always I have a little ringer, a turn like those kitchen timer. That would also help a lot too. So overall, with the calendar, which when you come home, first thing you do is just sit down, plan out everything. Make sure you take out all the things you're going to do, your items, the textbooks, the notes paper you need to get out, and then second, use the calendar. Plan ahead of time of your stuff. You can always have plenty of time to write out what you want. And third, always use a device to keep track of your time. Thank you.
Let's move on to our next and last speaker, Chou. How to be effective leader. How to be effective leader. Chou.
Mr. Coordinator, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, thank you all for coming today. Let me start off by underlining the importance of leadership in our society. I'm a senior, about to graduate, so I've just gone through the entire college application process. And it has never been clearer to me how important being a leader is in this country in particular. All the top schools, you know, the Ivy Leagues, all the schools that you guys probably want to go to, in order to get in, you don't have to have that perfect 4.0 GPA or all those 800 on SAT2s. What those schools are really looking for are the leaders of the next generation, so the leaders basically. Now, I'm not a leader. Many of you probably aren't natural born leaders that are going to become the innovators of the next generation. So this is why you're taking this class, Toastmasters, to become new leaders. And I'm here to help you become better leaders. First, I'm going to give an example of what I think is a good example, but it's kind of dark. It's Hitler. Hitler was obviously a very bad man. He did terrible things. But as a leader, he was fantastic. He was unmatched. Let's look at what he did. Germany had just lost World War I. The economy was in shambles. There was no real controlling power. It was just a mess. And through this chaos, Hitler was able to unify the country, get people to rally around him, and then go on to have a war with the world, even though it didn't really make sense. Now, how did Hitler do this? I think the first step he took was to get people to like him. I read somewhere that before Hitler went anywhere, before he had a public appearance, he would stand in front of a mirror and just pose, trying to figure out what would make him more likable. And apparently it worked because Germany rallied around him and they trusted him. So basically, if you get people to like you, the people that you want to lead, they'll trust in you, they'll follow you, and hopefully they'll do what you want them to do. Now, Hitler was a bad man. He did very bad things, which brings me to the second point. As the leader of a group, it is your responsibility to think for the welfare of the group, not just to do whatever you want, to go kill the Jews. So if you think of the welfare, which Hitler did not, so Hitler, that was his downfall. once people started realizing that what he was doing had no logic, there was no rationale behind it, that's when it started breaking apart, because he wasn't thinking about what would be best for Germany as a whole. Now, all of us aren't going to be great influential leaders like Hitler, so what can you guys do to be better leaders? Well, besides getting people to like you, you'll have to know how to organize people, how to manage them. In most situations, the people that you're leading won't be as dedicated as the leader. They won't necessarily have the motivation or know what they're doing in the group. So as a leader, it is up to you to tell them that. It is up to you to paint the picture of what the group should be doing. And part of this is to tell so-and-so to do that and him to do that. And that way, people will know what to do. They won't have to think as much, which is good in most situations. However, it is also important that you don't micromanage, because if you micromanage, people will get annoyed, they won't like you, and if they don't like you, they won't trust you. And also, we can't always be the leaders, so there are people that are leading you, every one of you. So in order to become a better leader yourself, you can look up to those people to see what they're doing that makes you want to follow them, or what they're not doing that makes you not want to follow them. So if you look up to your leaders, you can learn from them and become a better leader yourself. So to reiterate my points, number one, get people to like you and they'll trust you. Number two, think for the welfare of the entire group, not just yourself. And then that way people will have a better understanding of what to do. And three, manage them effectively to get people to have some freedom to do what they want, but also don't control them too much that you start annoying them. Mr. Coordinator?
Thank you so much. You heard all great 6 speeches. Now we're going to move on to the next agenda to present them with the certificates. There will be questions and answers on them, which I don't think they know yet. That's part of the interest on these communications and leadership. So I'm going to call each one of them from the order of the speech. And after they finish getting the certificate and the questions and answers, they'll just stand over here, and then the next one will come. Let's welcome Pinshuan Wu. A few questions. First, what grade are you? And second, what is your hobby?
Okay, I'm in 8th grade. I like to draw as most. I'm very creative. I like to read books and watch movies. Well, I like to play volleyball. I have a sports hobby.
And the last question is, how do you like about this youth leadership program?
I think it's actually really helpful because in the beginning I used to have a very short time to say the speech, but now I'm getting like more than like a minute, like 4 minutes, higher than that. So it's actually pretty good.
Good. Give her a big hand. Caroline Huang. What grade are you and what is your hobby?
I'm in the 10th grade. My hobbies include cheerleading, as a school sport, and I love reading. I love creating movies, actually. It's one of my favorite hobbies.
Next questions. How do you think this youth leadership program helped you?
I think this leadership program really did help me. I have to do a lot of speeches at school, and I had to do a speech in Chinese school today. And it really did help me how to make eye contact and how to speak louder and, you know, improve my speech skills overall.
Thank you. Next, Brian Chen. Same 2 questions. What's your grade and what do you like to do, a hobby?
I'm in the 11th grade I'm a junior at Winston Churchill High School. I like to play volleyball, and I like to do chemistry for fun. And I like to play Pokemon when I'm not doing anything important. And reading is also good too.
Next question. What was your expectation before you take the class, and what is your thought about this class?
I expected that I would be giving speeches every time I came. I wasn't too wrong about that because I did give a speech for most of the times I was here, be it table topics or a speech like I'm giving now. But I believe that it was a very effective class, and I definitely recommend other kids to take it because it will help them look at the camera or look at the parents and effectively speak and listen.
Thank you. Catherine Dio. What grade are you and what's your hobby?
I am a junior at Winston Churchill High School too. My hobbies include singing, drawing clothes, I like to play volleyball, and I like talking to everyone.
Next question. What do you think you have improved in this class?
I think I've definitely improved my stage fright. Before, I used to be so scared when I went up to speak in front of even the smallest of crowds. Now, I still get a little scared, but it's a lot better.
Next, Wei-Lee Wu. Wei-Lee took this class 3 years ago. That's I think the last time we offered. Now he's the assistant. He's also presenting. So what grade are you and what's your hobby?
I'm a junior. I'm a Gruder High School. My hobby includes a lot of stuff. For example, like volleyball, playing the violin, sometimes tennis, and most of the time I just like sitting down and reading.
Next question. How do you like it the second time being in this class?
At the first time when I took it 3 years ago, although it's kind of vague now, but I remember being a little kid, afraid of standing here, talking to just like a little less than 10 people. It was frightening back then. The second time I took it, which is helping out with all of the Toastmasters, helping out, it was much easier, but still, there's a little reminiscent of like how I was afraid of speaking, but I still got used to it, and then it's really fun to like talk to all these people, the Toastmasters, and give presentations.
Thank you. Next and last, Kevin Chou. Kevin, I know you mentioned that you're a senior. I guess there's no need to ask. What's your hobby? What do you like?
Well, like many Asians, I play violin, and I also play badminton in my spare time.
And next thing is that you take this class and you're graduating. What do you think you can take away from this class?
Well, in general, just talking to people, whether it's like a formal speech or just conversational, and also I think faster on the spot about what to say.
Good. Excellent. I'm going to stand here too. You get kids so important, is that right? Oh, Kevin, I'm sorry, Kevin, come here. Kevin is our timer. That's question. Go to the side or something. Side. Stand on the side. Stand on the side. Yeah. All right.
One at a time. 好了没有？好了，就拿下来。那好，就拿下来。下面你看，该你。